a minute, don't know. Get a minute of your time. Get a minute of your.
First you gotta live right, and I'm never gonna let you out of my side. I've been knocked out, was a nice try, but I guess I get to keep my head on this time. Part of the creation, the relations I've got, the only one that keeps me safe, the only one you should trust. For sure, it ain't right that I have checked the speck of dust from all of its side. Fall down, that from my height, cause I didn't see the plank I have in my eye.
It was always back. My finger never went anywhere.
Sorry. I'm fighting an ongoing cold from last. I'm fighting a demon.
She comes in here today, and she was like, "Well, no." She's like, "So how are you doing?"
I don't know what happened. Okay, first of all, welcome to our wonderful viewers to our podcast, From Vision to Success, where we talk about all things mindset, money, parenting, really just everything. We share our takeaways.
The 5 Fs.
Listen, if you didn't check out that podcast, I wish we knew exactly what podcast that was. They could go back.
I know.
But they stand for something, something good.
Yeah, it's nothing bad. Like it's actually a
they're
good thing.
Yeah, they're actually they kind of go align with our next theme. Okay, so if you watched us the last
You're all
12
over the place
episodes,
today.
I'm sick, man.
But you're here.
I know.
And I appreciate that, actually.
Yes.
I
If
really
I'm
do.
sick, I will come in. If my kids are sick, then it makes it harder. That's the only time that I can't, that it makes it hard.
Okay.
Because then if my kids are sick and I leave them home,
Yeah,
Mike
yeah,
is
yeah.
working, right? So I can't just be, so that's what makes it hard. If I'm sick, I'll muscle through. I will come in dying.
And here I am judging you.
I know. See, less judgment, more love. Come on.
I don't judge.
Anyway, so we're glad to have you here. Our last segment that we had about 10 to 12 podcast episodes was about how to create a business, really. That's what it was about, right? But it kind of evolved into
Entrepreneurs.
entrepreneur.
So how to start a business. What are some of the key principles?
Yeah.
So yeah.
It was that entrepreneurial mindset, but that entrepreneurial mindset can really go along with anything you want to do in your life and create it. So if you haven't had a chance, go back and check out those episodes. We had some good stuff there. This segment is going to be all about finances. So I'm really excited.
But you were about to say the Fs. What were the 5 Fs?
Okay, so
I came up with this.
yeah. I'm so glad that I have someone like Miguel who really guides and directs me in my learning and growth.
I did it.
Where would I be? I would be under a bridge. I probably wouldn't have married Mike.
No, you'd be in a ditch. You're 100% living in the van down by the river. You would just be like you and all your cats.
Yes, I do love felines. That is one of my apps. Okay, to share.
So Maria came up with it. This is her motto.
Yeah, it's like my life's clear vision, my goals.
And I fell in love with it, and I was like, "That's it. I'm adopting
it and adapting it to you.
Yeah, both in my life. And so I was like,
okay, so let's talk about your Fs. So what are your Fs?
it's the same thing.
The same?
But that's the thing that just that's the thing that boggles my mind. It's like
so good, right?
Yeah. And when I look back, before you even mentioned your 5 Fs, well, you gave me 4, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, let's come up with a 5th one. And you already had it, right? Which was friends. And so I'm like, yeah, like it's your environment, who you choose to surround yourself with, right?
Yeah.
Which I've chosen my TED Talk topic.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And so we'll talk about it today as well.
Okay.
But when you mentioned those 4 things and then finally the 5th one, so I was like, when I took a look at my life, I'm like, I live my life exactly. There is one F that I really need to do better, which is the finance one. Yeah. Because I'm a sporadic, an emotional buyer. Mm-hmm. So I'll just buy, right? Mm-hmm.
And I've been witness to many of his.
and then Tegan wheels me back in. But yeah, when you said that, I was like, this is absolutely golden fire. And it resonated because that is my life as well. So yeah. I love it. Yeah.
So let's share what the 5 F's are. The first F is faith.
In order, too.
These are in order.
Yeah.
This is the way that they're applicable to my life, right? So the first one is faith.
Yeah.
I am guided by my faith, by my spirituality, by my relationship with God. So everything that I do, I measure up to that, and it makes sure to align me to the values. There are things that I would not do just because they got me to where I wanted to be if they didn't align with my faith.
Right.
So that's a big one for me. My second one is family.
Yep.
Now, family, I love my family so much. I always tell my kids I love Mike the most, and then my kids kept second.
Yeah.
I remind them all the time.
That is the order. Yeah. Tegan's parents used to do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
He used to sit them down and said, I love you guys. Like I love you, but I love your mom more.
Yes.
And don't disrespect her. And she is my number one in my life. And all of you will be married and leaving.
100%.
But she's the only one that's going to stay by my side.
Exactly. You are setting the example to your kids of what a relationship should look like, right?
Yeah.
So that's for me, and like you, I know for you as well, it is our spouses that come first, and then it's our kids, right?
Yeah. And just to hit this a little bit more, what a if your spouse doesn't know that they're number one, like what kind of what do you call it, uppercut that is to the gut.
Yeah.
When the spouse feels that they're number two to the children. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if Mike was to come in and you guys are building this relationship in this household and stuff like that, and Mike starts to get a whiff that the kids come before him, and then the kids are gone, there's resentment there. Like I was number two in your life for the longest time, and now because the kids are gone, I'm number one.
Well, I remember when I first started my career as a nurse, I worked in this clinic, and one of the nurses that worked there, her husband had just retired. And I remember her saying to me, I was like, I don't think I was even married at that point, but she's like, we're like roommates. I have no idea. Like, I don't know him. Yeah. Right? Like, the kids are gone. We kind of have to stick together because we had the kids. But she's like, I don't really know him. So he goes and plays golf all day. I'm here. And it's kind of like we're roommates, right?
Yeah.
And I knew when she said that.
They're co-living. They're renting the same space, right? That's what they're doing.
Yeah. And so then I know, like, I'm not perfect at it. I think I do sometimes. I don't think anybody's perfect at it. Love is an action word, right? That we do it with our words, our deeds, and everything. Yeah. But definitely that is something that I always try my best to ensure that Mike knows that he's my number one. Yeah. And then I always remind my kids, like, hey, you come number two.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's your second F.
That's second. My third F is fitness, right? Because for me, I've known what it was like not to feel well, to feel bloated, to be in my thoughts, to be like, just not feel good about myself. And that impacted how my faith was and how my family relationships were and my friendships, right? Yeah. So for me, one of the greatest assets that I can have is my health. So I focus a lot in my health with regards to like what I read. Like fitness kind of includes my mind fitness, spiritual fitness, and physical fitness. Yeah. So mind fitness is what I read. Spiritual fitness is ensuring that I spend like a daily amount with Heavenly Father. Mm-hmm. And then my physical fitness is ensuring that I'm moving my body and that I'm listening to my body. That's good. Yeah. And then the fourth one, and this is an important one too, and the one that we're going to be focusing on is finances. Yeah. Now, it says that like money doesn't make you happy, but dang, can it come close to, right?
No, it does. I will go toe to toe against anybody.
Yeah, because literally, if you don't have the means to pay for what you need, you're definitely struggling in every other aspect, right?
We live in a society that requires money.
100%.
And so you can live a life. You can live a life with not abundance, but at the same time, if you don't know when the next paycheck is coming in, if you don't know when the next income is coming in, and then the economy is growing at a different rate that you're getting a promotion of, and then you're always behind the 8 ball, it will cause a certain stress. And here's the thing is, in the church, when they talk about like challenges in the home, they say that there are 2 things that can make or break a marriage:
finances
and intimacy, sex.
Yeah.
If people don't have this at bay or like at par and a good handle on it, it can really, really stress a family out, right? Yeah. And not just a family, but anybody in life. I'm working with some people right now that they don't know when the next rent, like where to get the money for their next rent.
Yeah, and look at our current economy, right? Like Yeah. So Mike says something. He's like, money doesn't buy happiness. It buys everything else by Grant Cardone. Yeah. True that.
Okay. Yeah. And I've never yet seen a person who doesn't have money and just be completely happy.
Yeah.
I mean, well, Jesus
Well-
Christ, but like,
Well, yeah, like,
that's
yeah. And okay. And also, let's talk about like, you can always improve where you're at. And the first thing that always comes to mind is your financial education.
Yeah.
You can't improve something that you don't know. Like,
Yeah.
how can you, right? So the first thing we can always do is educate ourselves when it comes to finances. And that's why we're doing this next segment.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's very important to me. I read a ton of financial books. The financial books has actually impacted my investments, impacted my mindset, it's impacted how I parent my kids. I was actually telling Miguel this morning that one of the greatest assets that one can have is having an entrepreneurial mindset that we were talking about,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I've been showing my kids shows about how to become an entrepreneur, and these are by young people. Like, young people, we're talking 13 to 20, right? So those are some great assets that I want my kids, even if my kids decide not to become entrepreneurs, I'm totally okay with that. They can go in whatever path. But there are those things like rejection, knowing that sometimes things suck and you have to muscle through them in order for them to get better. Those are certain skills that I want them to develop, right?
Yeah.
So, and then the last one, when you were like, okay, what's the fifth one? Family,
Friends.
family, friends, having a community.
Yeah.
We are not meant to be alone in like our own island, right? So it's friends, it's a network of people around you.
Yeah. And so in this TED Talk, that
Are you using the Fs?
no, I'm not. I should. And I should take
My
it as my own.
Fs.
After many years of research, I have come up with these 5 Fs. I should.
I know. Do you want to put the volume a little bit down? Sorry, it's like shouting in my.
Really? What happened? You remember what?
There you go. No, it's too low. Low. Yeah, a little bit lower.
Right there?
No, that's too high. No, a little bit higher.
Oh, la gran madre.
Sorry. Okay, that's perfect.
That's good?
Yeah, that's perfect. Sorry, it was so loud, and I thought I could muscle through it for the next hour, but every time you talked, I was like, even when I talked, I'm like,
So is that better?
yeah, this is
Okay.
much better.
So, what was I saying? Oh yeah,
your TED Talk.
The TED Talk. So as you know, a couple of weeks ago, I announced that I was asked to give a TED Talk. Right?
We're so excited.
I know.
We should honestly have I should have a button where we can do clapping and
I
like
know- well,
sounds.
It's right here. Like the
Do you have a clapping
Well,
one?
no, I know, but the
Okay, we'll add it.
capability is right there.
Okay.
Yeah. So the theme of the day is the big question. Did I tell you about this already?
Yes, you did tell me what the big question.
So it's the big question, and so I was like, "Can I get more clarification? Like, what's my audience?" And like, it's the big question. And I'm like, "Okay, is this entrepreneurs? Is this youth? Is this parents?" And he goes, "It's the big question." And I'm like, "Okay, you're no help."
So do you like what kind of audience will you have? Do you know?
Teens and adults.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's hosted in a high school,
Okay.
and so it's gonna be open to the teens and adults and parents and just like adults, entrepreneurs, business owners, whatever.
Yeah.
But the big questions, and so I started planning it. I was like, okay, and I'm driving. I'm like, okay, what if I'm talking to youth? What's their question? I'm like, okay, these could be a couple of questions. If I'm talking to a mom, what are her questions? Not to profess that I know what's going on inside a woman's head, because that's very dangerous territory. You won't come out alive.
Yes.
And then I'm like, okay, they may have these questions.
Yeah.
What about a man? What about an entrepreneur? What about a business owner? And an entrepreneur is like how to start a business and where to get finance. So every category that I could think of, there were some common denominators amongst them, but nothing that was really feeling like, yes, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, let me take a step back and see the bigger picture here. And the thing that came to mind was community.
Oh.
So it does not matter what gender, race, creed, background, or religion you are, whatever vision, whatever goal that you have to make sure that you have to be surrounded by the right people that will take you there.
Yes.
And so whether you're a youth, whether you're a mom or a dad or an entrepreneur or business owner, a starting up business or just an already existing business, who are you surrounding yourself with
I love
that will help you get to the answer to your question.
That's good.
Yeah.
That is so good.
So that's the theme. So I got 12 minutes minimum, 18 minutes maximum, but the what it's called, the application actually said try and bring it down to like 16, and then give yourself a little bit of
leeway.
leeway. So plan for 16, and then start winding it down.
Hi, Vanessa. Thanks for joining, girl.
Hey, what's
Oh
up,
my
Vanessa? Yeah, so that's it.
Oh my gosh, that's so
Community.
exciting. I love it. I feel like community is the basis of all things. Communities keeps, like, if you feel a sense of belonging in community, it helps you to keep coming back. And it helps you to propelling your journey, right?
Yeah.
Like, success is a team sport. We all need community.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it so much.
Well, and so yesterday, general conference. So we were part of a same church faith organization, and we had something that happens every 6 months, semi-annually. It's called general conference.
Mm-hmm.
And so normally we start our congregation, our church, at around 9, but general conference starts at 12.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So our neighbor, we've invited him to church a couple of times, and it just the times hasn't aligned. And so then he invited us. He's like, "Hey, we're having like a big celebration, Easter celebration."
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, and so we're like, "Okay, whatever." So it happened to be aligned this Sunday for us to go. So as an entire family, including my mom, we all went to his church.
That's amazing.
It was absolutely incredible.
Oh, that's incredible.
Like we got in there, and they had like the music, and then like the band was in the background. Everybody was singing. Everybody was going whatever. Everybody was just loving and whatever. But I will tell you, the thing that just threw me off was the welcoming spirit by everybody. Oh my gosh, how are you? Sit with us. And like they wouldn't leave us alone, right? And then they saw that we had like little kids, and we're like, we have a kids program downstairs. Come register them. And then they started talking to, like, they went on their knees and started talking to our kids, and like, what is that on your shirt? And he had a Spider-Man shirt on and whatever.
Aww.
And it was just like this sense of like, oh my gosh, like it feels good to be here, right?
Yeah.
And so it was very welcoming, and I told him, I listen, I got my own church that I have to go to. Not I have to go to, I want to go to. I go, but when the times align again, I would love to come back and can connect. My boys want to go and play basketball. They play basketball every Saturday mornings.
Oh, that's incredible.
And they were invited to go play, and one of my boys knew another young man from school, and so it was what a positive, phenomenal experience.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. It honestly makes a difference.
Community is huge.
Yeah.
Right. And how they make you feel. And so, and the reverse of that if you hang around people that are chastising you or just making you feel down, and you tell them a goal and they're like, what are you talking about, that goal? Like, there's no success in your family. Like, just go get a job and stuff like that. You start either to believe them, or it brings you down, and then just
you don't want to be around them.
You don't want to be around them anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
You end up, I feel like when you have a community of people like that, you feel like people won't understand you, so you isolate yourself. And when you isolate yourself, you're like alone with your thoughts, so it can really impact your growth as well. Actually,
so I guess that's what happened to me, right?
In that little, like, when
isolation.
Yeah.
Because I went through a phase where I just didn't want to talk to anyone, and I guess I wasn't choosing my circles properly.
Yeah, they're learning curves, right? They're opportunity for us to kind of stop and reassess. But yeah. So for the last 10 episodes prior to this one, there are 10 things that you should know or have in your life when starting a business. So as we were talking about what our next series, what we wanted to take a look at, Maria talked about finance. And so how she... how I'm killing it financially? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm not killing it financially.
She throws it in my face all the time.
I'm not killing
She's
it
like, this is
financially.
how much money I made today.
I'm like, look, I made no money today, to have you know.
She's like, I bought another house.
Relax.
It's like, I have 4 now.
I have 20 houses. No, I don't. I do not have 20 houses.
I don't have 20 houses.
Yeah. Okay, before we actually get into our topic, though, we need to do something very important.
Do you want to do that now, or do you want to leave it towards the end?
I don't know. What do you want? You tell us. What do you want us to do? Do we keep you kind of hanging out with us and we do it at the end?
Yeah, listen. So a lot of you know that we had this competition a while back, and where Maria killed it.
He thought he thought he wasn't gonna.
Yeah. I thought people were gonna walk away with like $50.
I know, that's why he's like, no, don't worry, let's do 500. I'm like, dang, 500 is a lot of money. Are you sure? He's like, yeah. I think he had low hopes for me.
I did. So I there were 2 train of thoughts here. I'm like, 500, at least give them the opportunity to walk away with $50.
Yeah.
And if so, by some chance, people do walk away with 500, I can still budget 500. Like
that's amazing.
That's fine, right?
Listen, that's like, yeah.
So we have to pick a winner today. And Maria sent me like this wheel of shame.
Well, because I think you wanted it to do it in a hat with like a piece of paper. But then I thought sometimes, like I feel like it's more transparent if people can see their names on the wheel. And then it's like going, and then we're like, oh yeah, this person won.
And this is what she says last night. She sends me a text and she goes, listen, I know you're old. I know you're like past your 50s. And I know you want to go old school pen and paper, but technology's here. Let's use this wheel. And so I was like, screw you.
No.
Did you not?
I did. It was more like a joke because truth be told, if we were really talking about technology and who's more technology advanced, it is him. I'm like, I had to ask my friend how to turn off my phone. Okay, granted, no, it wasn't turn off. I had to ask Bab, my friend, how to unsilence or how to silence my phone. Granted, I had like moved from an Android to an iPhone, and iPhones are a little complicated when you first transition.
They're not. And then this one's crying because she didn't know how to turn on her WhatsApp.
Oh yeah.
So she was like, I don't know what to do. I can't get my messages.
Prayer is real, guys. Prayer and fasting is real. I received a miracle that day.
Me.
Yeah, it's true. I you know how I like to tease them, right? But this time around, I was gonna leave without my WhatsApp, like, getting fixed or anything. And the thought was really like, what is Miguel gonna do that I haven't done? And in the car, I clearly had a thought, go back and ask Miguel. And then I was like, okay, well, I don't have anything to lose. So I came out and then I went and then he fixed it. And literally I was
3 minutes. 3 minutes and I was like, okay, let me try this, right? And then and you had given your phone to Mike, the engineer, right? The studied man that knows everything in the entire. Like, you have to understand one thing about Mike. When you know Mike, you either love him or hate him, and I'll tell you why. This guy is the best guy to know. If the zombie apocalypse was ever to break out,
it'd be an asset to have for sure.
You want a Mike on your side.
Oh yeah, Tegan will ask Mike before she asks
I know.
you.
When we go camping. And then, do you want to know how much that frustrates me? I've been camping with this woman for years. And when we go camping together, before she comes to me, she'll go to Mike.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And I'm like, your man is right here. We've been camping. I have boxes of tools. She goes, yeah, but it's Mike. And then sure enough, you go to Mike, and then Mike's, oh, yeah.
No, it's so true.
So you either love this man or you hate him, right? And so this is Mike.
Yeah.
So she gives the phone to Mike. Mike tries everything, doesn't work. 3 minutes, I did it, and I was like,
you saved the day. What can I say?
I got one over Mike. Mike, I'm better than you.
All right.
Oh, Mike says he was told the same thing in high school.
Yeah, he is. Like, honestly, any question, majority of people go to questions to him, and he's like.
I know.
He's awesome, though. He will know the answer. If anybody's more likely to know an answer, it is him.
Yeah. So I want to leave people hanging.
Okay, let's do it.
So towards the end, let's say at 10:45. So in about 20 minutes.
Okay. 20 minutes. Come on, guys. You guys can stick it out with us. 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
And you get some good knowledge about finances?
Yeah. And Paola Barias, if she's here, she will have you read her comments?
No, I haven't read her comment.
She goes, I just came here for the chisme.
No, I did read that.
Yeah. It's like, what? So she came to get her hair done. And I'm like, chisme? We don't chisme in the podcast. She goes, chisme means gossip.
Yeah. Listen, we
don't gossip.
It's just our lives that we put on display sometimes.
We don't gossip.
All right, let's do it. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of this podcast.
So what I did was, again, it's not that I don't know finance. It's like I do know finance. I used to work for a financial institution, right? And it's pretty neat. So I went online and I did steps to financial freedom. Mm-hmm. So that's what I typed in, steps to financial freedoms, and 2 million or even billion clicks, links came in through. And different people have different things. I even took it to ChatGPT, and then they wrote ChatGPT, here are the 10 best.
Yeah.
Another organization put the 7 steps, the 9 steps. This one is the 12 steps. And your boy,
Dave Ramsey,
he has 15 steps.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, these are really good, but there's one that keeps coming back over and over and over again. And Maria, and anyways, as soon as I gave her the sheets, she picked up on it, and I was like, yeah, I saw the exact same thing, which is setting clear goals.
Yeah. I think setting clear goals is what actually helps you to pick the right financial advice to follow. Because even though there's a lot of people that will tell you different things about finances. You have Dave Ramsey, who's all about paying debt off and living. Well, everybody's about living within your means, but there's different alternatives as far as investing and how to use debt. Dave Ramsey is no debt. You buy everything cash. Cash is king. As opposed to someone who's like Robert Kiyosaki,
Yeah,
who's
he's
like,
all about that.
yeah, he's like, use debt to your advantage. Use debt to grow. Now, that doesn't mean consumer debt, right? That means debt for assets.
Yeah.
So I think it's important that you need to know exactly where you are right now and what your goal is right now. Now, having said that, it doesn't mean that you can't change. So I started with Dave Ramsey, and right now my path has like led me to Robert Kiyosaki. Completely two different ways of investing. Yeah.
And do you see similarities between their advices? Like, I mean, you must have gone through Dave, and you must have gone through Robert Kiyosaki. Are there some things that they share in vision?
Yes, absolutely. The number one thing, living within your means, and don't go broke trying to impress people. Like they're both things, right? Because that's what sometimes people do. Sometimes people think that wealth is seeing the nice car, seeing the nice house, seeing like the costly apparel kind of thing, right? When in reality, that just sometimes means that.
Okay.
And people who are really wealthy do not like have that.
So let me challenge this for a second.
Okay.
So, and not to say that you're wrong, because I mean, heavens knows, like, this is probably out of all the Fs, this is probably like the least one that I have. Even though I used to work for an institution, this is the one that I have. This is not my strongest muscle.
Okay.
Right. So I know I can improve in this a lot. So I used to work for a company, and I was a financial advisor. So I used to do insurance and segregated funds, mutual funds, investments, RSPs, RESPs, and things like that. And the owner or the broker, the guy, he said, it doesn't matter where you are, like financially, you have to drive a good car. And he goes, and he says, think about it, you're going to somebody's house and you're pulling up with a beater, like a car that just the door doesn't even open, and it's just like the window's cracked, and it absolutely horrible car. Are you gonna get investments from this guy versus somebody that pulls up in a nicer car? Like it doesn't have to be like a BMW or a Mercedes, but just a nice car, right? He goes, so image is very important when you're in sales. That's what he said, right? And he goes, so image. So, and he said 3 things: a good car, good clothes, and a good pen. And goes, those are the things that people see when you walk in through the door. So, I guess my question is, is he accurate? And if he isn't, yeah, or is he accurate? And how does that fit in that live within your means?
I think it's depending on the side that you're on, to tell you the truth. So just kind of hear me out.
Okay.
If you're on the side where this is your job and you're making your ends meet, so his advice is gonna be true. People are impressed. Like first impressions matter, right? But if you are on the other side, you have to be careful with that, because just because somebody comes in with a nice car, they come in with nice clothes and a nice pen, doesn't actually mean that they know what they're doing.
Right.
Hence, you need to have the financial education to be able to be like, yeah, thanks, but no thanks, right? So here, I think it's truly depending on where you're at.
Okay.
So the financial education that I talk about, I guess, and the one that I feel like is most important, is that we all need to figure out a way that we understand money, that we have a good relationship with money, because you're not going to attract or grow in something that you don't have a good relationship with.
Okay.
Right? And then following that, knowing how to keep your money, like it's relatively easy to make money. You can get a job. I'm not talking about like good money, right?
Yeah.
But money overall, you can sell something, you can get a job, you can get money, right?
Yeah.
But what's hard is keeping money, and what's even harder is growing your money.
Right.
So that's the steps really that where we need to focus on is about keeping our money and growing our money. And when you have knowledge in those things, then that knowledge becomes indispensable kind of thing, right? Like you are going to be able, regardless of what you go through in life, whether you lose everything, you're going to be like, okay, I have the skills to be able to redo it again. And if you know, many of the multimillionaires that are out there, they have gone broke. They have lost everything, and then they had been able to rebuild everything, right?
Yeah.
And that doesn't come because of the money. That comes from the financial knowledge that they have.
Yeah.
So
So is it safe to say that one is a tool and the other one's a lifestyle? So for example, as a sales rep, they're using a nice car, nice pen, and nice clothes as tools to help them advance in their careers, versus someone that it's not a tool, but they're just doing it to impress. The clubs, the sceneries, the family gatherings, and all these different. It's like, oh, look at all these fancy purses I have. Look at all these fancy shoes. Meanwhile, they're like they can't even pay rent.
exactly. So that's what's important, right? You need to be able to have the financial knowledge in order to be able to spot those people. That is not really, they don't really care about what happens to you. They care about their paycheck, which is, there's a lot of it. There's a lot of people out there.
But so no, hang on. So
Okay.
my question is, if I'm in sales and I'm in finances, right? And it's happened to me. Like I've had many agents come to my house and be like, okay, this is our insurances, whatever. And there is a difference when somebody comes dressed nicely, right? Versus somebody that's just like, looks like they just finished hitting the gym. Like they're just like, whatever, right? And so to this broker's point of view, I don't think he was talking about you should have a lifestyle of living below your means or living above your means. I think is like when you are in front of a client, don't look like you're like you've been in the gutter.
Yeah,
Right,
and I can totally agree with
and
that,
have
right?
a nice car. Maybe not a BMW, maybe not a Mercedes, but have a nice car. Figure out a way to buy a nice car, nice clothes, nice pen. Because when you walk in through the door, you need to be presentable.
Is the whole thing of like, don't hate the player, hate the game. Because I truly believe that we are judged based on what we look. So I
Right.
will 100% dress in a nicer way when
Right.
I'm heading out to the bank, where I'm doing some business transactions, when I'm meeting, where I'm in a networking event, because I 100% believe that the first way of impression is that people see you.
Yeah.
And that's the way that they'll treat you, right?
Yeah.
Now, having said that, do I always agree with it? No. I treat everybody the same, but I can't say it for other people's way.
Yeah.
So because I know how the game is played, I will play into that game. I will dress nice. And I actually, you know what, too? I should say that it does boost my confidence, too.
Oh,
So
100%, right? Like
Yeah.
you walk differently when you're
Yeah.
like dressed nice and whatever versus you're just blah.
yeah,
whatever,
exactly.
right?
So I do agree in that sense. But I think what's important right now is to, like, in order for financial progression, there needs to be a foundation. And
Right.
that foundation is knowledge.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you cannot improve something. It doesn't matter. If you don't have the financial knowledge, it doesn't matter what you're wearing and you go to a networking event.
Yeah.
Because you won't speak the language.
Yeah.
Right? Everything that we do in life speaks a certain language. Like the gospel for us, when we go to church, there's a certain language that we speak,
Mm-hmm.
right? Same thing with finances. There's certain languages that you learn to speak
Yeah.
that will allow you to better understand what other people are saying. So, yeah, could you go somewhere, look nice, and like just kind of show up? Yeah, you could. But if you don't have the financial understanding or even
Right.
the open mindedness for it,
Yeah.
then it's not going to work.
Yeah, and I think so. We're talking the same and not the same thing because I think you're right. I think like your whole thing about living below your means is applicable. You should be living below your means. No,
Yeah, that's what I mean. You still want to dress like, okay, so when we're talking about living below your means, what I'm saying is that you have your paycheck, right? Like you have your level of income,
Yeah.
you know what your income is, and then you have a budget and you have a knowledge of where your money is going,
Right.
and you are ensuring that you're not in the red every month.
Right.
Or any months, really.
Right.
That's what it is. You are able to pay everything that you need with the paycheck that you have. That's living below your means.
Yeah.
If you're living above your means, that means that you need additional help, additional supplementation through that.
Yeah.
So that is where the difficulty is.
Okay. So we got a bunch of comments here.
Okay.
Hang on one second. Do you want salespersons giving you advice or do you want a sound financial advice? Good question.
Yeah.
There's truth to the sense that someone could guess that the person made a sensible choice to buy a reliable car that will last a good while. But also, what he says is a bit more important than the outside stuff.
Yeah.
100%.
So that gets you, maybe the way that you look gets you in the door,
Right.
but truly, like, we'll see what happens, right?
And at the end of the day, like when we went through, and again, when we were getting insurance for ourselves, I was already in the industry. I already had been in the industry. So when people were coming in and they were opening up these are our plans or whatever, because I had that knowledge and what kind of life insurance to look for, and all, whatever, I knew what to look for. So I knew what were past what he was saying. I was looking at the pages, right?
Yeah.
So that is to Vanessa's point of view, and even Mike's, is like, what do they have to offer, not how do they look? 100%. At the same time, the person that is coming through the door needs to be a little bit.
So are you saying that a person should live above their means to
No.
like dress nicely and have a car?
No, I think what I'm thinking, and this is the conversation, is not above their means. Like I don't mean like they should be taking vacations.
Well, if your means allows you to have a nice car and a nice suit, then why not? That is within your means, right?
But sometimes no. So here's the thing is, right?
Okay.
The car might be an investment, and it might be above their means, only because when you're pulling up, I don't want to see smoke coming out of your out of the back, like pop pop pop.
See, I think I don't know, because for me, I think you need to, if I have a difficult time with going into debt per se without a plan of how that is
Right.
going to be paid.
And so we're talking about the different things. Because
Okay.
what you're talking about, which is what I agree with, is lifestyle.
Yeah.
Is every day. Is what I'm talking about is in the sense of like, so for example, when I had to I used to work for Cintas, a I don't know if you know the uniform company. Okay, and one of the things about Cintas is I'm in a lot of job sites, so construction job sites, whatever. So the owner, right, he says, listen, do you have hard hats? And I'm like, no. Do you have steel toe boots? And I'm like, no. And he gave me a list of things, and I'm like, yes, no, whatever. And goes, you need to go out and buy these things.
Yep.
Right, because you're going to be in a lot of job sites, and it's going to you need to be safe, and these are the type of clothes you need to wear. These are the type of jacket you need to do, fluorescent, and all these different things. I'm like, got it. So I went to Mark's work, and I had to buy all these different things to be able to fulfill my job. Right? Okay. Those are tools.
Yep.
To be able to do my job.
Yep.
For a person that's in finance or for a person that's in sales, right? In my point of view, a car is a tool. Because if I'm coming to your house or if I'm coming to your organization in a beater and this car is not even starting, right? I lose credibility automatically. And so for me, the car is an investment. What is an investment if I'm taking vacations every single month, or if I'm going to the bar, or if I'm buying like very expensive shoes every weekend? Like that's, to me, is what you're saying is living above your means, right? Like you should not be doing that. You're not in a financial position to be doing that. But for me, what may help get a sale, what will be a nice car, and it might stretch me a little bit more, but it is an investment that I'm going to be able to make a sale to be able to put gas in that car.
I guess it's just depending on where you are, right? Like you said, you just have to look at the return on investment, which is called the ROI, right?
Right.
So if you have that car and that car is getting you into the door, and then your financial knowledge is allowing you to seal those deals, by all means, at the more income that you have, the more that you'll be able to pay off that car, and that will be a good return on investment.
And it's not every position, right? Like if I'm just working at a warehouse or if I'm working in constructions, I don't need like a nice fancy car.
Yeah.
But if I'm in finance and if I'm in sales, where it's B2C, business to consumer, or C2C, or even B2B, and I'm going to golf tournaments and then I'm showing up and there's like duct tape all along the bottom, and the CEO's receiving me there, like I lose credibility.
Yeah, this one's a hard one for me, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like the reason why this one's a hard one for me, because prior to financial education, 100% I would have been impressed by the nice suit, by the nice car, by the pen, 100%, right? But now I realized that some of the people who I have interacted with that have had the nice car, the nice suit, and different things, or have like shown, they really did lack the financial knowledge to stand behind it. All they were selling was a product, right?
Right.
So I think because of that, for me, because of my own personal experience, now I just see things differently. Right. So
Yeah.
I guess if you're coming from a sense, I still don't think that it would be a smart idea to go above your means to try to get something that you can't afford just
Yeah.
based on the off chance that you're going to make it work. Right. Like
Yeah.
so that's where I have a hard time. However, if you're telling me, okay, I am going to go into debt and I am going to buy an asset, something that is going to be bringing me money, right? And that's not going to devalue, a car devalues, right? So if you're telling me that and you're like, okay, and I'm going to stretch myself, but here are the financial statements and this is how this particular asset is going to bring me money, then I'm going to be like, then for me, I'd be like, if that was me in that situation, I'd be like, yeah, I totally can see it. You're using debt in a way to increase your financial income.
Yeah.
With a nice car, I understand the purpose behind it, but all I see is just money being drained out of your account.
Yeah.
Like, so it's depending. I feel like it's really depending on where you are. Really?
It is, and I think it's
Yeah.
it's 100% dependent on the type of job that you're doing, and if
Yeah.
image is
Yeah, I agree. If image is a big thing up there, so definitely you want to play the game.
well, think about it, right? Like, and I need you to put yourself without the knowledge. Like, let's say no,
Without the
but no, but hang on,
Yeah.
you're just a regular consumer,
Yeah.
right? You've gone through the courses, you know what to look for and all this. But even if you know all the information that you know, if someone shows up in front of your house and there's and it's crazy glue and Lego and duct tape that's keeping this car together, right? I'm talking about first impressions.
Yeah.
Right? And he or she pulls up, and then they're like in jeans and a t-shirt. And I'm like, hey, I'm your financial advisor. Automatically, you're on the defense. You're like, this guy has no credibility. He now has to win you over.
Yeah.
Personality, knowledge. These are our products. These are our things and whatever. And so, but in the back of your head, you're like, what? Like, how successful can you really be? And how successful is this product if this is the car that you're driving?
100%.
Right? Versus, you get a guy or a girl that's coming in here, and in their personal life, they're struggling. Like, they are struggling. You don't know that, though. You don't know their bank account, whatever. But they show up in a nice car. I'm not talking about a Mercedes. I'm not talking about a Benz. I'm talking about a BMW. But they show up in a nice car. Shirt, button-down shirt, clean shave, well-groomed, whatever. Automatically, you are now willing to hear the product. Even though the product's wrong, you're willing to hear the product. Then charisma, then explanations, and then all this other stuff will get this person the sale, right? But I'm talking about first impressions. It's like, if a guy shows up,
I think it's great to have the discussion because to me, all it highlights is the importance is the consumer having the education behind it.
100%.
Because
100%.
yeah.
I agree with you 100% there. That's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
though.
either way, but that's not like it. I don't think I don't know if you want me to say that it's okay for someone to like
No,
because I'm not exactly sure what it is,
No,
right?
So yeah.
Yeah, I just don't understand like where the conversation is going with regards to that particular example, right? Like I totally do get that you need to look the part.
Right.
I absolutely do get that. I think if it means that you need that one really good looking suit, I think if you need that reliable car, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right? Like I go for it. That's exactly. But make sure to have the financial knowledge to back it up, right?
Yeah.
But if you want me to, I guess, to say that it's okay to go into debt in the hopes that just having this brand, because what you're saying is a brand. Everybody becomes a brand, right? When you're out there, when you're doing sales, when you're talking about anything, when you're selling anything, when you are a brand, right? So you want to ensure that the brand that you're seeing opens the door, right?
Right.
Now, I think the important part is that as a consumer, I'm like, people can choose to do whichever way. And if you're a brand and that's what gets you in front of the door, absolutely do it, right? You just still have to be smart with the way that you finance, like the way that you do your money.
The seller and the buyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, being the buyer, like being on the other side, I think that this example just perfectly highlights the importance of ensuring that you're not like impressed by that shiny material.
100%.
Right?
100%.
Because all I can think about is just that person showing up in that nice car and that nice suit, that nice pen that seems like they're talking about, but yet in their own personal life, they're living above their means. They're highly in debt. They don't know how to finance their money. They don't have any of the products that they're selling. They don't even believe in it, but this is a paycheck for them.
100%.
Yeah.
And so we are talking about different things then. Yes.
Yeah.
Because what I'm saying is, so again, going back to what I am saying is that person, whoever comes through the door, right? Let's say, so going back to person 2, that they're struggling, whatever, all these different things, whatever. That they have the tools properly to get in through the door. What you're saying is that for the rest of their life, they should be living below their means, right?
You should always live below your means.
You should always live below your no, exactly.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Exactly. And so living below your means, I agree with 100%.
Okay.
If you are hurting, if you're struggling to pay
No. Even when you're wealthy, you still need to ensure that you're living within within your means, right?
So on the spectrum of financial freedom, from point A to point B, or to like from 0 to 100, you should always 100%.
That should be the goal.
100%.
Okay.
And so that we agree with.
Okay.
That's not what this conversation was
I have
about.
no idea what you're talking about then. Please, people, do you understand? Is this just one of those things where it's like a male brain and a female brain cannot come together? Because I have no idea what you're saying.
We're talking
I
about
have
the
no
same
idea.
thing.
Let's go to the comments.
Okay, let's go to the
Because
comments.
maybe you guys can give me some clarity, because I have no idea what this guy's talking about. Oh, gosh.
She's so mean today.
I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay.
What do we leave off here?
Okay, we read Vanessa's. Okay, there's Mike again. What is paying for the Benz? Their financial intellect for the commission they get from the product they are selling. You, fiduciary all the way. Yeah, that's the difference between having a advisor versus a fiduciary. If you don't know what that is, make sure you look it up.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Okay,
I'm
so
looking it up.
real quick, a financial advisor is there to sell you the products that for the company that they work.
Okay.
Or a fiduciary is somebody who actually follows a program, who is there to give you options and recommend what is best for you, not best for them. Do you get what I mean?
Okay.
She's like, I don't care. Anyway.
Just reading the
So
comments.
anyway, for you guys out there, you guys that do care, fiduciary, okay? Just make sure that that's what you're looking for.
Okay. Fiduciary. Yeah,
like, I don't-
look for fiduciary. Nice dress doesn't mean that you need a huge boss suit, tip tops, or yes, absolutely, 100%. And I think here's the thing is, I think this conversation, and it's so funny because the image that I'm painting is not the image that is being received.
Because nobody has any idea what you're talking about. Okay, hold on. And what does Mike say? Mike says, borrow a suit if you have to until the money's coming in. Yes.
Okay.
Keep in mind, Mike and I are very aligned with our thoughts, so that might be why. Live in a small condo with a roommate to lower your rent, so then you can afford a reliable vehicle or park around the corner so they don't see the smoke. Yes. See? Solutions.
Yeah.
I see a solution-based mind right there.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. You can read the dances.
It says many people have an amazing polished image, and you find out later they bought the majority secondhands in Walmart. Yes, absolutely. They had a skill to transform the clothes to give themselves an appearance that they spent a lot of money. That when that's not the case, right?
Do you need
So
glasses?
I do need glasses, but like
They're on your head.
no, I know this is close reading, and so the light here. Right, relax. So with a bit of ingenuity,
Yeah.
you can polish without breaking the bank.
Yes.
100%. Park around the corner.
See?
Have you seen Warren Buffett's car?
Do you know what he drives?
No,
A Toyota.
that's awesome.
Yeah. This man is like.
So he agrees with. Well, I'm not talking about the Benz or the Mercedes because that's not what I said. Ready? Here we go. You all about priorities.
Okay, Vanessa's going to give me some insight about this. Okay. Miguel was explaining it from the presentation versus how one lives their life.
Correct.
Okay. I
Right.
believe there are studies about the level of confidence people have in people depending on their appearance.
Right.
So that's what you were talking about.
That's So yes.
Okay.
So
If that's not it, then please
no, that is
enlighten
it.
us.
No, that is.
Okay.
So that is it. So because what you're okay. So let's go
How
back.
does that deal with finances?
What's that?
How does that deal
Well,
with
I
finances?
did preface it saying that when I was working at this financial institution, that guy said, "I don't care how broke you are, like whatever. Make sure that you drive a nice car." So when I say, so here's the thing where we're the painting and the receiving is being different.
Okay.
When I
Let
say,
me sit properly so I
sit.
can receive it. Let me receive it. I'm really going in with a clear mind because I'm trying to understand what you mean.
Okay, so when I say nice car, and I said it before on the podcast. I said I don't necessarily mean a Benz or
And
a BMW.
I'm not taking it as
Okay,
that.
okay. So a nice car is a reliable car.
Yes, it could be a Toyota, Honda, anything.
A Toyota, a
reliable.
Honda, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But that Toyota, that Honda might put you in the red,
Okay.
right? It might because like holy crap, you can't even pay your rent, right? And so so this car, whatever it is, whether it's 5,000, whether it's 10,000, whatever, it's like you have to put gas every single week or every single whatever, it's putting you in the reds.
Okay.
However,
Okay.
what I'm saying is that whatever car that you get within somewhat of your means, even though it's putting you in your reds, you as a salesperson, not as a construction worker, not as a warehouse worker, as a salesperson, it's an investment.
Yeah.
Because, right, appearance is everything. When you drive up to somebody's house, right, Walmart suit, that's fine. A pen from Staples, that's fine. But what I'm talking about is that when you drive up to somebody's house and you show up with duct tape all around your car, and I'm not talking about you because you are educated. So you're able to see past the image because okay, this guy looks like just friggin' whatever. But let's take a look at what he has, right? But for the average consumer, 99 or 80% of the consumer, image is everything. And so when you show up to somebody's house in a beater, it's like you lose confidence in the person.
So I have a question for you.
Okay.
Okay. So that's fine. Yes, do you absolutely need it? Yes. Now let's say, do you have for the person that went and bought the car? How are they going to supplement their income in order to make the payments for this car? Or is it okay for them to live above their means for an indefinite amount of time?
Oh, 100% no. Yeah, they have to have a plan.
Exactly. So
Yes.
I'm like, if you have a plan, that's totally okay
Yeah.
because that is a tool. Like you said, if you need a vehicle to get from point A to point B, your vehicle needs to be reliable and eye pleasing. Now, like you said, doesn't need to be the most expensive car.
Right.
Absolutely. As long as you have the ability to ensure that you are going to be able to supplement that income and have a backup plan.
Right.
Maybe the backup plan means like, crap, I can't afford this car. I have to get rid of it. Maybe I need to rent the car for the day. So in order I can go and meet this appointment, right?
Okay.
So that I think in essence, I totally understand what you mean.
Yeah.
But you cannot just go in the red without a plan.
I agree. That I agree.
Excuse me. I'm so sorry. I felt it coming.
Well, I'm glad that you pushed it that way.
I know. I'm like, I need to cough again. Oh my gosh. And I have no water. Okay.
Yeah. No, I agree. I
Okay.
agree. Yeah, and so that is my so here's the thing where we both agree again.
Mm-hmm.
This guy or girl who's struggling every month, right? But goes out and buys a car, right? And it might put this person in the red, but it's used as a tool to get to appointments and make those sales. And the reason why I use finance because I was in finance, and it takes a while to build a clientele. You're struggling to find that one client, and then that client tells two people, and then you struggle with it. So in the beginning, for the first 6 to 8 months, you're struggling to build a clientele in finance. I don't know about any other industry, right? And so for that bit, just like starting any other business, sometimes you do have to go in the red when you're starting out, right? But the plan is to build a clientele, to start a referral program, and then we did.
Hey, maybe you can like drive Uber on the side time. Like you can supplement your income in other ways, right?
Right. Okay.
So-
That's fine. So for that person who is struggling, that has to buy an investment as a car or whatever, I don't agree. And this is, I think, where we are speaking the same language, is that this person, just to look the part on social media, is taking vacations every single weekend
Yeah.
because they need to look good for their clients.
Do you know
I don't agree with that.
So this is the issue that I have with social media and influencers,
Yeah.
that what you see is completely different from the life that they live.
100%.
Right? Like I have seen people that like I know just have a different portrayal of what life looks like.
Yeah.
And then in the background, life is completely different, right? That's when I'm like,
And when I started MTC Live, like I was in the red for almost 3 years. And not because of poor choices, it's just investments. I had to.
Well, in the business setting is different. So I think
sales is business, though.
No, I know. Okay. Business, sales, like all that is different. What I'm talking about is with regards to your own personal finances.
Exactly.
And that is a point where we need to start.
Exactly.
So there's a difference between business, where 100%. Business, you can be in the red. Shoot, Mike and I bought a property investment. We are in the red, like big time with our property, right?
Yeah.
But we understand that you need to ensure that you plan out for those. Now, in our personal finances, if we were in the red for like X amount of months, that would directly impact our ability to pay our mortgage, feed our kids, and all these things, right? So,
that's it.
Okay, so it took half an hour for you to just. Why didn't you just say it?
No.
My gosh, this guy full blown half an hour to be like, oh, business finances is different than personal finances.
That's exactly what I've been saying.
But they do use the same principles, though. I just want to make sure that we know that.
The what?
That we do use the same principles when it comes to business finances and personal finances.
100%.
Yeah. I'm worried how our money series is gonna go.
No, I think, and I just think that you're right. It was a left-right brain conversation that we just had.
Yeah, I had no idea you were talking about business, and you had no idea I was talking about personal finances.
Why are you giving me so much stuff for?
I'm just saying. Because if we're teaching, like in my mind, when we're teaching our audience, we're always teaching in a personal, like family way first, and then you can build from there. But I guess you might be
See, I was coming from a business sales point of view, and I think you hit the nail right on the head.
Yeah.
I was coming from an investment business point of view because that's been my life, my whole life.
Yeah.
Right? Like I was in sales, which is sales is personal, is business, right? Like I mean you're living off commissions. And then I started my own business and all these different things. So for the whole this whole conversation has been whatever. You were coming from a personal finance.
Yeah.
They should live below your means and 100, and I agree with. So what I was talking about was investments, which is something completely different.
You're talking about business.
We're talking about business.
Yeah.
Like in a business, sometimes you have to go in the reds to be able to.
Yeah, but being on the red doesn't mean that you don't have a plan.
Exactly.
It's short-lived.
Yeah.
Well, knowing that you have a plan to increase that income, and that income will absorb everything that you've spent.
I agree.
Yeah. So I think just to leave you guys off before we do this, I think this is the one thing that we can agree on, okay? Both for business and for personal, that is it's super important to know the income that is coming in and the expense that's coming out. That is the basis of all finances, understanding those two. So income and expenses.
Yeah.
My goodness, I'm like stressed out about this talk. My back hurts. I'm just kidding. I just didn't understand what point you were getting to. That's why I'm like.
Maybe you should open your ears and listen.
Okay. You know what? I'll give you that. I do talk a lot.
I'm joking.
God gave me 2 ears and one mouth, but I asked Mike, I'm like, wouldn't that be crazy if I had two mouths? He's like, oh my gosh.
One mouth here, one mouth there, and just having separate conversations, arguing with each other. Yeah. That was good. Someone, Mike says, again, priorities. If decent car is important to your income, then how to cut back somewhere else. Yeah.
Sorry, Zara. Sorry, Maria's spicy today.
Okay, so it's not just me, right? Thank you. Yeah, it's kind of hot in here.
I am sweating.
I had to turn off the heater because it got intense.
I just don't understand what he's talking about sometimes. Anyway, I love that comment. Thanks, Zara.
Poor Mike. Okay.
A shout out to Mike.
Yeah,
we've been married 14 years. Shout out to that man.
I need to have a conversation with Mike and be like, how do you
blink twice if you are okay? Blink twice if you need help.
Vanessa says, think of it in this manner, Maria. So it's not me then. Okay, well, let's see what she says, right?
Okay.
Kind of all the things, place that doesn't considered fancy, luxuries, high class. Why is that? Because the look, the presentation is polished to the last detail. If you could have been an arrangement made from dollar store items, but it made it pop, why am I not being able
Okay,
to?
so that when you walk in, essentially your defenses are down and you're willing to do business with them. It's like those stories of people walking into a Versace store being ignored by the staff because of their appearance was shabby. Not fair. And it was biased, but humans in general like pretty things. Yeah.
No.
You never know. I've seen videos and I've seen stories of people looking completely like you would not never think that they're millionaires and they get ignored. But yet they go and talk to someone else and make these insane purchases.
Yeah.
Never ignore. That's
Yeah.
why you just never know, right?
No, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Well, thank you guys so much for helping. Was it blink twice if you're in trouble?
Save Miguel. You're tearing. He's crying now.
I am crying. All right, let's do this.
Let's hold on. We can't go. We gotta do the draw.
Yeah, no, that's what I know.
Okay.
I'm about to press the button here. Okay,
Sorry.
so these are for the $500 win. We went in and we typed in everybody's name that participated. Said win for me, Maria, and let's see what happens. So you know what I did? Actually, hang on one second. So you know what I did?
What?
The wheel that you sent me, you can customize it.
Okay. I'm worried. Okay.
So you can customize it in the sense of like the shuffle, like where you put the
Yeah.
the names, and also how long the wheel spins for.
How long is it gonna spin for?
For about a minute.
Is it really spinning for a minute? All right, let's get. We could totally be having this conversation while it spins.
So just to do this, ready? Here we go. So
To build the.
so how many times do you want me to shuffle the names?
Shuffle it 3 times.
3 times?
Shuffle it.
Okay, shuffle it.
I think I said shove it 3 times. Shuffle it.
You are mean today, eh?
No, I'm not. I'm kind
Okay.
and loving and. I gotta save Miguel.
Hashtag save Miguel. All right, so ready? Here we go. So we're shuffling 3 times. Ready?
All right.
Ready?
Good luck, people. I can't wait to see who is going.
1, 2,
What?
3. No, we're just shuffling the names.
Oh, shuffling. I thought
Are you serious?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I already shuffled it 3 times.
Okay, you shuffled
wanna
it
do
3
more?
times. Sure, one more. And
One more?
more for kicks.
One more for kicks. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
Let's see. I can't believe it. This is gonna be like 60 seconds.
I just like how much can we torture people like by making this thing as long as possible.
It should have been 5 minutes, but we just.
If there was a 5-minute option, I would have taken the 5-minute option. The highest was 1 minute. So here it goes. Ready?
All right. Who's gonna win? Oh my gosh.
Well, it's not gonna be Levi. Oh, Zara. No.
Zara's here.
Bev. Oh, Catherine. There's no way Mike B. There's no freaking way Mike B. Oh,
Oh gosh.
Tiffany. Oh, Kim Anderson.
Kim Anderson. Is it Kim Anderson?
Is it-
Oh, is it going? Is it Camilla?
Camila Luna. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It's still moving. Hey!
Shout out to Camilla for winning $500.
There we go.
It actually comes in super handy for her, I am sure.
There we go. So that's it. Camila, you are our big winner. Congratulations.
Oh, we're so happy for you. Yes, yes, yes.
So it says here, Vanessa Bryson, Maria, today isn't your day.
I guess not, guys. I guess not. I'm not showing up as my best self. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh. I was scared in this episode.
I look forward to speaking finances with you.
I've never.
And Vanessa, we will need your help to translate clearly because
Yeah,
I
so-
don't understand what this man thinks.
Yeah. So if in the next couple of weeks, can you log in and just be my translator? Or maybe we can have you on the show virtually just so you can.
Vanessa translates.
Yeah. Oh, have you ever seen like Key and Peele, like Obama translator?
No.
Anger management?
No, I
It's
haven't.
Pretty funny.
Talk about a nail biter. I know, right? That last little bit too.
Kim's name was gonna stop on Kim's name.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then sorry, Kim. I apologize. But anyways.
See, I'm glad that we did the wheel though, because it did build that suspense, right?
Yeah. If I could have chosen 2 minutes.
5 minutes. All right.
Alrighty. Well, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Thank you.
Welcome?
Thank you. I'm still traumatized. I was like,
Like, welcome to what? Welcome to our end.
welcome to my torture. Right here. My torture,
I am the kindest, most loving person ever.
Yeah.
We love you guys. Thank you so much for all of you who have tuned in live to be with us, to share your insights and to translate what this man has said. I had no idea what he was talking about.
If I wasn't bald before, I would have been after this episode.
Graying.
No, it's just like molting. Just hair just falling off.
Oh, man.
But no, thank you guys so much. Please make sure that you like, share, subscribe. All the social links are right up there, right up there, that right there. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and make sure that you hit that notification button so then when we do go live, that you guys are able to get that thing. And we had a blast giving away this money, so you know what? We might be doing this not anytime soon, but we might be doing this.
We gotta build up.
Yeah.
Talking of being financially conscious, we cannot go in the red for this.
Yeah, we're not gonna go in the red, but maybe we'll do like another summer competition.
Oh, maybe we could do like a movie ticket kind of thing. We talked about doing that.
We
before.
did talk about that, yeah.
Okay, we'll do some fun giveaways.
Like some summer giveaways and stuff.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for being here, and peace out, yo.
All right, let's end this thing. Gotta stop.
Get a minute, Dodo. Get a minute of your time. Get a minute of your. Let it.
Hush up, gotta live right, and I'm never gonna let you out of my side. I've been knocked out, was a nice try, but I guess I get to keep my head on this time. Part of the creation, the relations I've got, the only one that keeps me safe, the only one you should trust. For sure, it ain't right that I have checked the speck of dust from all of its side. Fall down, that from my height, cause I didn't see the plank I have in my eye. In yourself when no one's to be found, what keeps you eased out, what takes you off your mind.
Guess you want this, I want this, everybody in this, we should have it. Stop illusions, it's in your hands. Show yourself, reveal it to them. Take the time to recognize it. You won't leave me even if I tried it. You're the artist, and the mess, and happily perform the new in your hands.
Hush up, gotta live right, and I'm never gonna let you out of my side. I've been knocked out, was a nice try, but I guess I get to keep my head on this time. Part of the creation, the relations I've got, the only one that keeps me safe, the only one you should trust. For sure, it ain't right that I have checked the speck of dust from all of its side. Fall down, that from my height, cause I didn't see the plank I have in my eye. In yourself when no one's to be found, what keeps you eased out, what takes you off your mind.
Guess you want this, I want this, everybody in this, we should have it. Stop illusions, it's in your hands. Show yourself, reveal it to them. Take the time to recognize it. You won't leave me even if I tried it. You're the artist, from the mess, and happily perform the new in your hands.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.
Guess you want this, I want this, everybody in this, what should have it. Stop illusions, it's in your hands. Show yourself, reveal it to them.
Yeah, you better.
Take the time to recognize it. You won't leave me even if I tried it. You're the artist, I'm the mess, and happily perform the new in your hands.